How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a Nintendo Switch news update. Doing something a little different. Usually I don't have the web browser showing, but I'm gonna read the article to you, and it has to do with a brand new Nintendo Switch possibly releasing next year, early next year. So this comes from Nibble. That's how I say it. Retweeted this. Rumor: new Switch hardware model to launch early next year, according to a report that cites manufacturing sources. It'll come with improved display quality and interactivity. Then he says, in his following tweet, fully expecting this to be a pro upgrade for the current Switch, similar to the DSi or new 3DS. That will be a noticeable but not too crazy improvement to the new model. Also, maybe no more Joy-Con drift issues, please. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is from VideoGameChronicles.com. Is it Chronicle or Chronicles? Oh, it's Chronicle, sorry. Okay, so a new Nintendo Switch model will launch next year, a new report claims. Taipei, that's how I say it, Taipei-based newspaper says updated model could enter production later this year. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So COVID must not be, I'm not to say that the pandemic is not bad. No, it is bad, but for like video game systems, it may not delay things as much as people might expect, especially when we're getting next gen consoles this year. Hopefully, most likely we will. There might be fewer of them, but we'll still get them, I think. So Nintendo will launch a new Switch hardware model early next year. A report citing manufacturing sources have claimed. So we have this newspaper called Economic Daily News, and they claimed on Tuesday that the new Switch would enter production later this year with a launch. Okay, so early next year, like I was just saying. More interactivity. Report cites various hardware manufacturers responsible for the Switch's flash storage, Joy-Con controllers, and more. Over the past year, we saw a bunch of rumors. Can't talk today. A bunch of rumors about a new system. We got the Switch Lite. Well, people thought it would be the Switch Mini, but basically same thing. That ended up being true. Not everything ended up being true. Like we're definitely not getting a new system this year. No, there might be like a new bundle, maybe, but not like a brand new system. And keep in mind, this is not next gen. Just be like a mid gen upgrade, kind of like the DSi or the new Nintendo 3DS, or like the PS4 Pro, Xbox One S, or Xbox One X. Almost said Series X by accident. No. Okay, so yeah, we also had Wall Street Journal earlier this year and last year claiming that Nintendo was planning a more powerful system with enhanced features targeted at avid gamers. And in April, a Switch firmware update reportedly referenced a new unannounced hardware model. So according to an engineer, the console's new version 10.0.0 firmware refers to a new NX ABCD hardware model, like a codename. The software also references codenames for the launch model Switch, Switch Lite, and the 2019 update featuring improved battery life. Which is basically more or less the same Switch, just it's the different model but the same model. You know what I mean? It's a little different, but it's not like meant to be like a upgrade. That's all what I'm trying to say. And existing hardware plans will likely have significantly disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. So basically, I was saying, well, I guess I didn't say this, but there could have been at one point in time a new console coming out this year. Maybe last year they thought about that. It's like, okay, next year, and then they just kind of halted their plans. I know they told investors that a new system was not coming this year. I know you could say, well, it'd be illegal to lie to investors. But then you could also argue, it's like, well, our plans changed. That was the plan. We didn't say that was definitely going to happen. We said we have no plans on releasing a new console, a new Switch model, whatever. With the exception of that Animal Crossing bundle, and then I'm sure this year there'll probably be other bundles. But yeah, no new Switch this year. But maybe that was originally the intention that was going to happen. But obviously, probably not now. I'd be really shocked. I'd be shocked at this point if they did end up releasing a new system this year. Anyway, let's continue. So, base April, after a brief hiatus, Nintendo resumed shipping Switch consoles in Japan in April after a brief hiatus, like with the pandemic. And In the 3 months ending June 30th, the Switch hardware cleared 5.5 million units sold for the quarter, which represents a year-on-year sales increase of more than 160%. Analysts have suggested that Nintendo Switch may have longer than expected life cycle, during which it surpasses Wii's total sales of 102.63 million units. Switch launched in March 2017 and has some 61 million units as of June 30th this year. Earlier this year, Japan-based Kantan Games analyst Dr. Serkan Toto predicted that an upgraded Switch Pro would launch in the near future. And he says, "There is absolutely no doubt in my mind," adding that his guess was that the console would cost around $399. Yeah, I could maybe see that. More specifically, I predict 4K support, bigger cartridge sizes, and of course, beefed up components. In January, Nintendo claimed it had no plans to launch a new Switch model this year. That's basically what I said, but it has, no plans. Plans could change, but, with the pandemic, I think that kind of just killed off all chances of that even happening. Now, one thing, before I do in this video, one thing I've kind of thought about this, and I'm not like an engineer, but, the Switch uses a USB Type-C port to charge, and also with the dock, I have one that's not plugged in. I don't know if you can see very well, but basically, USB Type-C, plug that in. So, I don't know if 4K would that be able to handle 4K support? I don't know. Well, obviously, probably not this one. But like a new one, would they have to upgrade the port? I don't know. But we'll have to see. And maybe we'll get a 1080p display on handheld instead of 720p. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure. Maybe it won't even have USB Type-C. In a way, I would almost prefer it to have USB Type-C and hope that there is some way that it can support 4K gaming. I know, if you have an iPhone. Well, no, that's a bad example. This is the Lightning port. I have the original iPad, but I believe the iPad Pro or one of the newer models of the iPad Pro has a USB Type-C port on it, and that should also be able to do 4K videos at least. But you're not actually plugging it in and then that going over to the TV. But if you're watching YouTube videos or the camera on there, I don't know why I did this. That was kind of weird. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see what happens with what Nintendo does with the 4K Switch, possibly. That's all I wanted to do today. Just make this video. Usually I don't read directly off articles, but this time I was like, you know what? Rather than writing my own article, I'm going to do something a little different. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys later.